I love being an entrepreneur and hosting this top 2.5% global show to bring you authentic talks with successful founders of companies and brands. My entrepreneurial journey started after I was left for dead. Let's learn the impactful journey of today's guest now.
Right? It needs to be something that you really, really love. So I love exercise. I love health. I wake up every day and it's just what I want to do. So I think that probably might be the most important thing is the passion.
I have a fun interview today. Tampa entrepreneurs know the name and she's known nationwide. She's got over 30 years of experience in all things fitness, public speaking, book. I saw her on the newscast. I was on Bloom TV with NBC recently. And who did I see in the green room? I saw today's guest, Michelle. So, Michelle, welcome to That Entrepreneur Show.
Thank you, Vincent. I've known you now for a few years, I think.
Yeah, and we
We
had
actually
this.
did a podcast once, well, kind of a little podcast once before.
We did a fun one. That was with
Yeah.
Carlos. We did it at the University of Tampa Loth Center. Shout out to their entrepreneurship program. They have different breakout rooms and meeting rooms throughout the center. So we were able to actually go ahead, do it in person. And now
Yes.
we're doing a solo spotlight because she has a lot of great things to offer right here on That Entrepreneur Show. Thank you for tuning in. As always, in keeping this a top 2.5% global show, be sure to subscribe to stay current with our amazing community of experienced entrepreneurs who have a lot of lessons learned to share with you. Again, she's got a lot of great things going on. But before we get to all that, Michelle, why did you want to be on your own? Why did you think entrepreneurship was for you back when you got started?
Well, of course, I'm a little older than you, and through the years, I have worked for other people, and I came up in the fitness world teaching classes, and then I was a trainer at a gym, and then I did public speaking and all these things. But of course, as you get older and wiser, you realize that, there's more money to be made on your own, and you can get out there and talk to people more than just being, stuck in, like, let's say when I was personal training, I was trying to get to people and to get them to change their lives, but it's hard to do that just one-on-one stuck in a gym all the time. So it was just an evolving thing. And, I got so blessed to start going on that Bloom show, and I'm a regular on there. And I just, and I was blessed also financially. I was married and I, was able to do this, right? To go on my own and try to start it on my own. So I just love being my own boss, of course. I love being able to do things like this whenever I can or whenever I want to and make my own schedule, all the things that most people enjoy about being an entrepreneur.
I love how you said that because that's part of my definition of success as well. There's many people in this country who you earn a certain amount of money, you consider yourself successful. But for me, if I'm not fulfilled, I don't find that success. And for
Right.
me as well, we're able to stop here as we're recording this 10 o'clock on a Wednesday. This fits
Right.
both of our schedules. And as entrepreneurs, you have to play with a puzzle
Right.
sometimes trying to squeak it in. But once you left that safe gym, right? You weren't able to expand, but you had a safe thing going. What were some of the more challenging parts for you as you began to be an entrepreneur all on your own?
After the gym, I started doing this 3-hour corporate talk for corporate executives in person. And I was flying to different cities. It was called Happy Healthy Human. And it was for a company called Visage, which, they have a bunch of business owners come together. And then when COVID hit, that got shut down. So, you know, I didn't particularly like having to fly all the time. It sounds so amazing at first, but it's a very lonely kind of thing. And when COVID shut it down and everything, I kind of decided not to go back to that, but that I decided to do my Happy Healthy Human brand just more one-on-one. And of course, with the computer, you can get to so many people. So that's kind of how that evolved. And then I wrote this latest book that I wrote based on all of the things that I believe in.
We might as well dive right into that. You brought it up, so we got to hear it. Yeah. What's the title? Talk to us about it.
So the title of my book is called Health Revival. Can I show it to you
Oh,
here?
yeah, yeah.
So this is it here. And I chose the title because health obviously is what this book is about. And basically it is all the longevity experts agree will get you to live to 100 because we're supposed to be living to 100. Okay. If we do things like we're supposed to, which, as you know, we're getting further and further away from health in the United States as time goes by. Okay. And then revival, I added in the last chapter, my faith, which I'm a Christian and I believe in God, but you can read the last chapter as nature. Okay. So God, nature, spirituality, whatever you believe in, I believe the foundation of health starts with believing in something bigger than ourselves and wanting to help people, your family, your friends, community, all of these things. If we don't have that, then what are we living for? What are we doing? Then we're kind of empty, right? And so the book goes in order by the steps of things to do to kind of get our health back on track. A couple of stats I want to throw at you, Vincent, is 1 in 2 Americans right now have chronic disease. 1 in 2. 40% are obese. Another 40% are overweight. 65% of Americans didn't sleep well last night. 35% are on antidepressants. I could go on and on. And let's not even start with diabetes. So you can just hearing those numbers, which are projected to get worse. What is going on in America? What's happening? Well, what's happening is we are human animals. Okay. So we are actually animals. We just have our brain is a little more advanced. Okay. But we are supposed to be living outside right now. Our genes have not caught up to the fact that we're indoors now all the time. In fact, 93% of the time during the day, Americans are indoors, only 7% were outside. That should be flipped.
Yeah.
And that's where the problems start. We're ordering food in. We don't even go to the grocery store anymore. We're not moving. We're socially isolating since COVID. We're not sleeping. We are stressed out to the max. And so this book will give you the tools to fix or to help all of those things. And along with that, I've got other chapters which include alcohol and, come on, alcohol's really bad right now. And a 30 recipe chapter, which I give you all of my 30 recipes. And so it's just got a ton of stuff, vitamins, minerals, and then, just it goes on and on with sleep and water and nutrition. And you and I love to exercise. Fitness is my passion. And I know you work out a lot too. Movement is everything. So one quick statement I want to make to you that is the most important thing that I'm going to say this morning is everyone thinks that their DNA is set. And because my mom had cancer, which my mom did, now, I'm going to get cancer. So just forget it. I'm just going to do whatever I want. Well, no, our genes, 90% of our DNA is going to change second by 3 pathways. So these 3 pathways will determine how long you live and how well you live. And they are thoughts. So the thoughts we tell ourselves, movement, okay, which is exercise, and food, your fork, okay? So those 3 things can dramatically improve your life. So that's the message of the book, along with many other things.
So many great things. I don't know where to start. Well, congratulations on getting that book out. I know it's a process, and everyone will
It
have her
is.
on Writing with Authors down the road. Don't worry, stick around for that. Those numbers are very staggering and they're eye-opening in many ways, even 4 out of 10 people with diabetes. Like that's a lot of people. And we have,
Right.
like you highlighted, this convenience lifestyle now with the Uber Eats and DoorDash, where a lot of
Yes.
us are working from home at least 1 day or 2 days a week. We're doing all these things where we need the movement. And I love how you said movement, not just exercise, where I'm doing a lot at this as we're recording, right?
Right.
I'm not in my safe home gym, my spot, so I still have to make time or make excuses, right? I implement a lot of walks. Walks are good for me. They help
Yes.
clear my mind. Getting on the floor, doing some ab workouts and ever workouts, right? I have those
Right.
like little dumbbells that change weights, so I can that
Oh,
change
yeah.
like
Yeah. Those are
just
great.
just because they're not as bulky. I don't need to
Yeah.
drive and do it.
Kettlebells are great too. I love the kettlebells.
Exactly. So you're hearing just a few options now. Walking, especially, you don't have to lift weights if that's not for you. That's okay. Getting outside, getting some sunlight for me, as someone
Yes.
who's on my computer a lot, I take intentional breaks every hour to just go outside and walk around for 5 minutes. I have a long sidewalk out in St. Pete outside my house where I'll just go
Right.
down, no phone, just up and down, come back.
Right.
refreshed.
And Vincent, if we go back just a couple of hundred years, if we could go back in time and look at what Americans were doing, okay, so we didn't have all these beautiful buildings and air conditioning and televisions. We got up in the morning and we had to go look for our food. Okay. So that was our exercise. We didn't even think of it as exercise, but if we didn't get up and start walking and start hunting, okay, we would die. So we're very comfortable right now. And so we've got to get out of that comfort zone and we've got to start looking at these beautiful, amazing bodies we were given. And I just want I want people to reach their potential. I want you to see exercise as something that's fun. Like when I walk into the gym, I'm such a weirdo. I'm like, wow, what am I going to get on first? I love the gym. I love all the things in the gym, but I know I'm strange. I just wish everybody could, because it's almost like a kid, right? When you see a kid play on a playground, they don't know they're exercising, but that's how I feel like at the gym. And movement is so important. And, the food conversation could be a whole podcast.
Yeah, everyone, I'm gonna go ahead and drop the link to her first show where we did a deep dive because her and I were still getting to know each other at that point,
Right.
and we dove all into her specialty. And you're gonna have to stick around just a little longer to get her website, where to find her, all of that, and to check out the book. But of course, I'm sure you can Google it right now and go order a copy while we talk. Any advice for aspiring entrepreneurs who want to write a book? Something you wish you knew before you got started? I hope you're enjoying today's show as much as I am leading the discussion. Remember to subscribe to stay current on our shows.
So I did a podcast the other day, or a couple of weeks ago with someone, and we got into the conversation of, we were talking a little bit about faith and that inner voice, right?
I call it the
So
itty bitty committee.
yeah, and it's like, the day, so my youngest daughter had just been born. I have three girls, and I joined a gym. This was 25 years ago. Okay. And I saw this sign up sheet. They were looking for spinning instructors. And I stood there and looked at it. And Vincent, I've never taught a fitness class in my life. And I heard this voice inside of me say, you could do that. You're going to do that. And I went home and I couldn't get it out of my head. And I'm like, I can't teach a fitness class. Well, I couldn't stop thinking about it. And long story short, I ended up becoming a spinning instructor, and I taught it for 20 years and I was really good at it. And I ended up teaching all sorts of classes. So my point with that is, if you feel a nudging, if you have that voice inside of you, and listen, you're going to fail a bunch of times and you're going to have people tell you you suck and you won't get it the first time, but just don't give up on your dreams. You've gone through really tough times recently too. You wouldn't know the things that I go through by seeing me on social media and talking to me, but I even have health problems. But I refuse to give up. I refuse to let those get me down. And I'm past 50 now, and I feel like my life is just beginning. So don't let age be a factor. Don't let naysayers be a factor. Even your own family is going to bring you down. If you have something inside of you that you want to do, just please give it a try.
I love everything you said. Again, my stance on social media, there's no time or place really for that other than quick messages and interacting. But people may not realize what their words or actions are doing. They just don't share your mindset. And entrepreneurs are very unique, where people that love you want something safe for you. They want you to be
Right,
accounted for and not worry. But
right,
certain statements can have an adverse effect on us. But eventually, as an entrepreneur, if you've been doing it long enough, you learn how to tune out pretty much all the noise, or you wouldn't get any progress. So I love your
right,
confidence, love your resilience, and this saying, okay, any problems? Oh, well. That's the same way. Like when I come on these show, I've got a smile when I do these recordings, and whatever happens, you leave it at the front door, right?
right,
You leave it outside the door, and then I put the headset on and I get in my little zone, and I'm like, okay, cool. Which is why entrepreneurship, again, it's not for everyone. We all have problems in life, whether health, personal, professional, but there's no one reminding us to hit our numbers or hit a goal or network today or get our
right.
work done. So you can't let it bring it down. And it does make us stronger, I feel, in other facets of life. I love how we got to touch on the book and for the show notes, when to listen to that nudge. I love how you
Right,
also highlighted earlier, hey, flying sounds cool, but why does it get lonely? Because you have to really be passion all in entrepreneurship. Now your passion's extending to a latest book. I
And
think
books are great to get your message out to so many people, you know. And getting, I mean, now that I'm doing some television, you want to talk about scary. That is scary. To go on TV, you've done it, you know, and listen, I was scared this morning to get on here and talk to you. I had like a butterflies in my stomach. Every time I do something like this, putting yourself out there is tough, but people love it. Even when you fail, people love to see a comeback story. So nothing is ever wasted. If you believe in God, he doesn't waste anything. He will use anything, whether a failure or something you do great, for a purpose. So we all have purpose. Um, just everybody has a purpose in life, and it may not be this, but it could be just going out in the community and doing volunteering. Whatever it is you want to do, I think that you can do it. That's my message.
it's a great message, and the nerves are okay because it means you care, and I understand that feeling in
Yeah.
many situations where,
Right.
granted, now I've done over a little over 1,000 of these probably, so my
Right.
butterflies are shifted to more.
Yes.
It's just kind of like, I guess, like you people say, like as I do quotes, a happy place, right? When I come on here and I get to do a podcast recording,
Right.
it's what I do, right? I love to do it, and
I
I
know,
love
and you
to.
meet so many people, and it's such a
Well,
great thing
that's a
you're
great
doing.
point, but just to piggyback off what you said before, the book and podcast,
Right.
not even hosting your own show, but even being a guest, it's the best business card you never knew you needed,
Yes.
where your message is getting out to a targeted audience where, yeah, I've got 3,000 whatever people on LinkedIn, but how many are actually people who care what I have to say, care about my line
Right.
of work? It not means they're not nice people. We're friendly, sure, but you need
Sure.
to get your message into targeted audience. Like Michelle's coming on this show today talking entrepreneurship with people who are entrepreneurs listening. So there might be some
Right.
overlap there. And that's very important for me to find guests who are going to come on like her, bring her A game. But we've got to back up just a sec where we talked about, hey, we're supposed to live to 100, right? I know you've got
Yes.
7 top keys to living
Yes.
to 100. So let's dive in.
All right. Each one of these steps are a whole chapter in my book. Okay. So number one is stress, and this is listed by importance. Okay. Stress is number one because 70 to 90% of every doctor visit in America is traced back to stress right now in the United States. If we don't get a handle on stress, then, we're going to remain sick and full of chronic disease. Number two is sleep. Sleep is a massive pillar of health. So every human should be sleeping 7 to 9 hours a night, non-negotiable. And my book will tell you how to sleep better. Okay. Number
Ooh, everyone,
three.
you should be getting ready. It's not easy. I mean, I used to, when I was on my set, like 8 a.m. bedtime, like 8 to 3, like that was good sleep. Now,
Mhm.
I still like 6 is like my mandatory minimum, and I'm still not operating fully at 6. So I love how you
Yeah,
highlight
six.
7 to 9.
Yeah, six is not quite enough. I think you need it. We need to give you another hour.
Yeah.
And lack of sleep is causing a lot of problems in the
Oh
world,
my
and
gosh.
it can even cause
Yes.
dementia and Alzheimer's. So we really want to get.
When I have the rare, like, my rare social engagement, right? When I go out and I get, less sleep than usual, it affects my whole next day,
Oh
right?
yeah.
I'm optimal at 7.5 to 8 hours. I know my body, so like at least 5 times. I'm very hard on myself to make sure I prioritize that.
Yeah, and
But
I want to
last
throw
night
in real
was a
quick
6.
with the sleep, vitamin D. I talk about vitamin D and why vitamin D and sleep go hand in hand, and why we need to get outside more and get sunshine. Okay.
Love that.
So, number three, believe it or not, is water. Before food and exercise, water is that important. So, the average American only gets 8 ounces of water a day. We need to move that needle to 100. Okay. If you go to 100 ounces of water a day, you're gonna see phenomenal changes in your health just from hydrating. Okay, because when you are chronically dehydrated, your cells cannot function properly. Your cells are doing all these things in your body. We have cells, trillions of them in our body. If they're dehydrated, they can't function properly. So we need to move to 100 ounces of water. You can have the other stuff, but just don't count them towards your 100 ounces. Okay. And then, of course, number four is going to be nutrition. And my book will break down the foods that we were given on this planet that are perfect. And we have gotten so far away from this. And if we could just go back to eating like that 80% of the time, again, you're going to live longer. You're going to feel better. You're going to notice your skin look better, all the things that come with great food. So, food, again, is one of those things that turns on and off the good DNA. Okay. And then number five is exercise. And my book breaks down the walking piece, the hunting piece, which hunting was before we moved into buildings, which is a HIIT workout, weight training. I give you everything that you need to build a home gym. I even give you some of my HIIT training workouts in there that can get you started. And just my passion in general for exercising and how, oh my God, exercise is everything. As you know, Vincent, I know that you like to exercise too.
It's certainly something that helps me think more clearly. I have more mental benefits than the physical, which are they're obvious,
Right.
right? But people don't understand how important it is for your mental health. And geez, this has been a heck of a show, but I'm not done with you yet. If you could give a new stage entrepreneur a piece of advice, what would you offer them?
Gosh, it's so hard because when you first start out, like you just don't know what you're doing, you know. I would say don't be afraid to ask for help. I would say do your research, make sure you know whatever it is you're trying to do, that you've got the knowledge and you have to have passion for it. So if you don't have a passion for what you're doing, I think it could fail, right? It needs to be something that you really, really love. So I love exercise. I love health. I wake up every day and it's just what I want to do. So I think that probably might be the most important thing is the passion.
I couldn't agree with you anymore. Where if you're not passionate about this, you are going to fail 99 times out of 100. So if you don't care
Right.
about it, you're not going to want to do it, right? That's just human nature. If you don't like something, you're not going to be
Exactly.
gravitated towards it. But we're getting closer to that contact info. Everyone, you know what time it is. If you could pick any entrepreneur, Michelle, dead or alive, and it may have changed since our original talks,
Well,
who would you choose to pick their brain?
so dead or alive?
Dead or alive?
Gosh, there's some smart ones out there that I'd like to talk to. God, I don't know why the first name that popped in my head is Steve Jobs. Maybe I'll just say his name.
Let's talk about
Uh,
it.
I think of Steve Jobs because, he ended up dying of bad health. As far as I know, he was a vegan, which I'm not knocking veganism, but gosh, he was a genius and he died so young, right? So I would like to pick his brain and just talk to him about his ideas and how he came up with all the things he came up with. And I'd like to talk to him about his health. I would have liked to have saved him, Vincent.
You could save a lot of people in this world, and I think with your expertise and again your passion that drives it, you can help so many people out there make a difference and positive change in their lives. Now, I've got to thank you because you absolutely crushed it, but I need to know, how do people get in touch with you? Where can we find this book?
Well, it's on Amazon and Barnes and Noble, but I mean, Amazon is the main place. Health Revival, you can't miss me. I'm holding an apple because, I kind of tried to do a little bit of a health, and the apple to me is, everybody knows the apple.
Of course.
Also, I do have a website, Michele Cuff Wellness. And, you can contact me there. On social media, it's Michele Cuff Fitness. So those are the main places you can reach me. The book isn't bad. I mean, as far as price, books on Amazon, I think with all the information on here, I think it's worth it. Of course, I'm going to say that because it's my book.
It's
But
absolutely worth it. I know everything you put into what you do. She puts her heart and soul into all of it.
yeah,
And again, go to her website, Google her name. She's got a bunch of cool news interviews out there. You can learn more about her. And then, of course, reach out to her for her services. She's all over Florida and then all over the country doing great things. So I'm glad you're in my network. And I want to thank you once again for taking some
thank
time out of
you.
your day, of course, to join us here on That Entrepreneur Show. Everyone, remember to subscribe to stay current and head to her website, head to the book, check out all she has to offer. My name is Vincent A. Lancey, and I want to thank you once more, everyone, for tuning in to keep this a top 2.5% global show. We're signing off today in the Tampa area. Michelle, thank you so much.
Oh my gosh, thank you, Vincent, for having me. This was so fun. I hope I bump into you in the near future.
I'm sure we will. You have a great day.
Okay, you too. Bye.